What's up, guys? We are back. Fitness Profit Multiplier, Anthony and Jimmy. Today, we're going to be discussing 90% of businesses succeed from this one thing. And it's probably not the one thing that you think of because it's not the marketing, it's not the sales, it's not your training. It's one specific thing that's going to help you to succeed and get to that 7-figure run rate and beyond at high profit margins. So, I don't know if should we let this kind of dangle a little bit, Jimmy, here, or should we just go right into it? What do you think?
I mean, we can let it dangle a little. I mean, when you look at other gym owners, you guys have looked at other gym owners, and you looked at some of the reports that other places give out, right? Some of the reports around revenue and reports around gym owners and who's successful and who's not. If you guys are part of Zen Planner's reporting system, then you'll see these like end of year reviews or whatever, where look at like, okay, who's doing well, who's not doing well, what are they doing, what's different. And there's one thing that stands out above everything else that is the indicator of a successful gym that's doing well, right? And we're going to share that with you today, but like Anthony said, it may not be what you think. Right? There's a couple of factors that influence it, but it may not be what you think. And you've noticed gym owners that you have, like that you've been friends with for a while, and you go, yeah, they're still in the game, right? You see, oh, they're still in the game. Oh, they've been at it for X amount of years. Oh, they're doing better. Oh, they're doing better again. Oh, they're doing better again, huh? And they stay in it. I gave it away. Oh man, I gave it away. Okay.
Go ahead, man. Just finish it now.
Guys, the number one thing that's 90% of business success is staying in business longer than the next guy, right? Staying in business longer. We look at all these reports and we can look at all these things and look at our buddies in the industry and all this stuff. And the one commonality is that for the most part, the more years you stay in business and stay profitable enough to stay in business, the more you're going to figure out what the things are that you need to do to bring yourself to the next level. When we look at the data, most successful fitness businesses have been in business for 5 years or more. Right? And by successful, we're talking, upper 10%. Upper 20% in revenue. We're not talking 1% gym owners because that takes a little bit more skillful decision making and these kinds of things that happen over that time. But what we find is that gym businesses, personal training businesses that have been around for 5 years or more are typically doing high revenue marks, high profit margin marks. They charge their members a little bit more. They have better payroll expenses in terms of not having as much and generating more profit. The owner does less for the business. All these things happen. So if you can set up your business so that you're profitable enough to stay in business longer, and you're following some of the core tenets that we talk about on our podcast in terms of growing your business, and continuing to run the promotions and run the marketing and do all the things and just do the thing over and over and over and over again, you will be successful over time. Sometimes it's just a matter of time that it takes to have a successful gym.
Yeah, 100% was on mute. Yeah, 100%. I mean, the thing is that it does take time to get these things, to get to 7 figures. It doesn't happen overnight. We did a whole episode on that. So you guys can go back and listen to how long it takes to get to 7 figures, but it's not something that happens overnight. And the more you could kind of stay in this fight and like Jimmy said, play with these principles that we talk about and do the right things consistently, the better off you're going to be in the long run. The better off your business is going to be. And the more you'll be able to succeed. I mean, it sounds silly. It sounds like almost like common sense, right? Like, oh, obviously, staying in it is obviously going to make me more successful. But most people forget that, and they focus on, they take their eye off the prize. And I'm sure we're all guilty of it to some extent. You kind of start resenting your business at some point. You kind of you have bad employees and it makes you hate coming into the gym, or you know, it's a hard time right now. You're struggling with other things going on in your personal life and you don't want to deal with the gym stuff. So you kind of resent it. And when you take your eye off the prize like that, sometimes it's hard to stay in it at the moment. And sometimes you go through these ups and downs in your life and you look and you're like, you kind of take it out in your business unwillingly, you know? So staying in the fight consistently showing up, putting the smile on your face when you walk into the facility, no matter what, goes a long way in making it to seven figures and beyond. So, I mean, it sounds pretty straightforward, but you know, a lot of people forget it. So sometimes you need to be reminded more than you need to be taught.
And every now and then you'll meet a gym owner who has been in the game for 8-10 years and they're still only doing 20 grand a month, right? But for the most part, when you meet gym owners that have been around for a decade or over 5 years at least, for the most part, without some extenuating circumstances in regards to timing, in regards to other things that are out of their control, for the most part, they're pretty successful in the grand scheme of things, right? We're not talking that they're going to be upper echelon, like everybody that has a gym that's lasted 5 years is going to be $1 million gym. But most of the time, that's what it takes, as long as you're willing to do the work. So, like Anthony said, we got to be reminded a lot more times than we've got to be told. And it comes down to doing the mundane in and out work every day that you have to do and following the principles around business long enough to see the profit and see the revenue happen. It will happen for you as long as you stay in the game. And there are ways in which you can accelerate that process, which is why we do this whole podcast. But as long as you stay in the game, you'll make it. It's just a matter of pushing through some of the issues and being reminded that when it gets tough, you just got to push through to that next level and you'll get there.
Yep. Couldn't agree more, guys. So that's it, guys. If you want to be successful in your business, stay the course. Keep going. Push yourself. And if you need help with any of this stuff, that's why we're here. That's why we're doing this, to help you get to that next level, to help you get to that seven-figure run rate and beyond. So if you want help with any of that, just make sure you click the links below. And until next time, Anthony and Jimmy, Fitness Profit Multiplier, we are out.